Hey guys, in this video we are going to cover how to deal with the pins. There is 5 main ways how to deal with pins, and we are gonna cover all of them. First way is to block with the bishop. Second way is to defend this knight with your own knight. We can ignore it and play something like bishop to c4. We can chase away this bishop with h3, or we can prevent this pin with h3 before our opponent pins us. We're gonna cover all of these moves, and we are gonna look at this one Capablanca game at the end. He is ex-world chess champion, and we'll see how he deal with the pins. For example, I recommend that you don't go into defense with defending this pin. You can go with development, play something like bishop to c4, and many times your opponent gonna make the mistake. Actually, if he is beginner, more often than none, you can castle, and your opponent can play something like this. He have many developing moves, but if he choose the wrong one, he is in trouble. If he plays knight to e7, he have made a mistake, and you can make advantage of this move. Try to find it. Actually, you can play bishop to f7 here, and your opponent must take it, and you have double attack. You give check, and you also attack this bishop, and when he goes back, you're gonna take this bishop. You have lead in development, you have pawn up, and you have very good potential attack, and so on. So that is one winning combination, and we'll see some other combinations. Here your opponent make the absolute pin. This is the absolute pin because he pin your knight to the king, and you cannot move your knight by all means. You cannot do that because you're gonna lose the king. You cannot do that. So in this position, many players plays queen to c2 to defend this pawn in the future, or f3 because this pawn is vulnerable when you exchange these knights for this bishop. But you have a win on the spot here. Try to find it. Actually, win on the spot is queen to a4. You give check, but you also take this bishop, and your opponent cannot defend it with the knight because you're gonna take this knight. So when he deal with the check, you're gonna pick up this bishop, and you have completely winning game also, and that all is good. Next we have this mating pattern, which is Legal's mate. You probably heard about this pattern, but it is so fun. You will see it. Here you can play h3, and most often your opponent gonna stick to this pin and try to harass this knight. But you don't care about that. You're gonna pick up this pawn and set the trap. And if your opponent don't know about the Legal's mate trap, he can take this knight, but he can also take this queen. And if he take this queen, there is checkmate in 2. You give check. Your opponent plays queen to a7, and you deliver checkmate with 3 minor pieces. Beautiful stuff. All these squares are covered, so it is mate on the board. And if your opponent knows about this trap and he tries to play something like this, you're gonna pick up his bishop, and he can pick up your knight, bishop also, but you have this double attack. You give check, and you attack this knight. And after he blocks, you can pick up this knight, and all is good. You're pawn up, and you have pleasant game. We have next example. Here, if you play something like bishop to b2, and you probably think, oh, I'm gonna lose the game, I blunder because my opponent can play e4, our knight is pinned, we're gonna lose the knight and we're gonna lose the game. But try to stay calm and find the move which saves the game. Actually, this is the move that saves the game, h3. Your opponent can go back, or he can take the knight, and if you take the knight, you're gonna take this bishop, and this is a good combination for us. Instead, he can go back. You play g4 to take this bishop, and now he can go back, or he can exchange this knight for the bishop. We exchange the knight for the bishop, and this pawn is loose, and we are saving our knight, and we're gonna live to fight another day. So don't resign prematurely. Next example, we have something like this. If we have the pin, but it is not dangerous if this bishop is lonely. But if this bishop have support of the knight or support to the queen, it can be dangerous. So be careful. Here, the right approach can be to attack this knight and exchange it for the bishop, or chase away the knight. But many beginners players are temptation to play h3, but this is the losing move. And here black can play knight to f3, check. You cannot take this with the queen because you're gonna lose the queen. You must take it with the pawn. Your opponent gonna pick up this pawn. Your your rook is attacked. When you move the rook, opponent's pieces are coming, and he gonna checkmate you very soon. So don't play h3, and if unless it's necessary, and be careful about these lines. Next, we have something like this. If you play, for example, prematurely h3, it can be a weakness in the future, and your opponent can switch plans. He can expand on the king side. He can choose to castle queen side and launch a quick attack. For example, your opponent sees that you create weakness. This is so-called hook, and he can, like we said, switch plans, and he can long castle, and now he attack you on the king side. His attack is very fast. You try to attack him also, but his attack is much faster than yours, and you're in trouble very soon. So this h3 move is also, like we said, it creates hooks, but it's also create weaknesses, but it also creates it prevents us from develop our pieces with the tempo. We want to develop the pieces in the opening, not the pawns. So that is one example, and our next example is defend this knight with our own knight. And this is an example from the Ruy Lopez game. Most thematic moves is this. For example, here you chase away this bishop, and bishop goes back. He wanna maintain this pin, and now you can go after this maneuver. Knight to d2, you're gonna play knight to f1 and knight to g3 to attack this knight. For example, if your opponent plays rook to e8, you're gonna continue with the plan. He tried to expand on the queen side, and you attack this bishop, and he can exchange it for the knight. But if he goes back, you have this move. You can exchange bishop for the knight, or you can create a beautiful outpost. For example, I don't know, something like this. You can exchange here, but you can play this move also, and you have a very strong outpost for your knight. Okay, and now we'll see the last game, Capablanca's game. Like we said, Capablanca plays with Winter more than 100 years ago. I already covered this game on my channel, but it is so beautiful, and we'll check it again. Here, Capablanca is black, and his opponent just pinned his knight to the queen. And here, let's see how Capablanca, sorry, that is not the move. Let's see how Capablanca make the winning advantage in just 5 moves. Here he plays h6, attack this bishop. His opponent's bishop goes back, and now he plays c5. Very important move to cement this center, and he bait this attack with the knight. That is exactly what the Winter played, and Capablanca plays g5, chase away the bishop. We have one in between move, and bishop goes back. And now Capablanca plays bishop to g4, very important move. His opponent tries to chase away the bishop, and we have exchange on the f3. And after this exchange, if you look closely to this position, this bishop is in jail. He cannot ever break free. If your opponent plays h4, you're just gonna ignore it, exchange here, and his bishop is again in jail. This bishop cannot go out of jail. He cannot go in any way. For example, he can play something like this: 1 move, 2, 3, this move, and after 5 moves and some material, maybe your bishop, his bishop can go into the game, but not likely. In this particular game, Capablanca switched his intentions to the queen side, expanded there, and basically his opponent played without the bishop and lose the game. That is our video for today. I hope you learned something new about the pins, and see you soon. Bye.